Honestly, I think AI was probably one of the best. Sorry, let me clarify. Generative AI is probably one of the best things that happened to the online art space. Like, I feel the amount of disruption and insecurity it invokes, and like how the fear and the backlash and the just the general doom it invokes on artists was so healthy, I think that, at least for me, I didn't start art till later in life. I'm 29 now. I started when I was 22. And by the time I joined, like, it was a little bit past the DeviantArt era. So, we had like, uh Mark Brunet and like Loish and all these established online artists who, for me anyway, it felt like if I got into art, I will never be as good or as notable as these people. And that was okay. I just realized, I'm like, okay, like, I will never be the best artist, but I can try. It's fun. I'm learning how to do new things. Like, I'm just doing my best. And I think people were just kind of fine, slowly growing and like, just realizing that they're not the best already, but they can practice and like it's whatever. And then like, I don't know, we got to like this weird space when like, when Instagram got really big, and like being an online influencer artist was like very attainable, seemingly. Like, it felt like if your art style was, if your art, not art style necessarily, but if your art fundamentals were good enough, you could get by just by being really good at what you do, even if you're like a nameless or voiceless account, and like that's cool or whatever. But you know, when AI came out, like, I was even scared in a way where it's like, man, I'm like, 2 years into this, and it's seemingly like there's no point. Like, I have a job, I'm an engineer now, right? So I don't necessarily, I wasn't looking to be like, a hired comic artist for like Marvel or anything like that. But like, the idea that like I could one day work to make art for like a waifu game or whatever, like, just that it was possible to like get employed full time as an artist, or at least like for projects and stuff. um it seemed attainable because there's nothing like threatening, like, the industry, and the way that AI does, generative AI in that way. And then, AI came out, and like people were just losing their minds, and like, yeah, like the narrative was like, oh, we can generate amazing art in like half the time with like half the people, we can steal your art, something you can do about it, and also, which is all true, and it's all bad. But people were just going crazy. They were like, "Oh my god, what's the point of pursuing art anymore? If AI can steal my style, like, like, I'm not gonna post anymore. Like, here's my alt accounts on like different profiles or different websites that will also probably get scraped eventually, and all this stuff." And people were just quitting, like, as if they didn't spend the past 6 years of their life, or even decades of their life, illustrating. And it's like, okay, well, I completely understand like why, that's the reaction, and like, honestly, like, a lot of it is justified. But then I can't necessarily endorse like, wait, you're gonna stop making art because you don't see a point if AI can make the art that you make, or like at least make it seem like it does. Like, I thought you liked making art. And then I had to sit back, and I was like, wait, do we not all enjoy making art? Like, I thought this was a form of self-expression. And if something was like, yeah, we can mimic your self-expression, it's like, that's enough for you to quit. I can't get down with that. That seems like a loser mentality to me. I think having a shock, and having a that immediate response, just based on like, the shock, like the, I guess, yeah, the shock, like, just like the news of it, like, yeah, that's reasonable. But like, to completely like forego making art ever again, it's like, how can you call yourself an artist? Like, you know, you're telling me if someone isn't paying you to do it, or if people aren't ready at your beck and call to give you accolades for doing it, it's just not worth doing it anymore. That's ridiculous. Like, I don't think I'd call that an artist. I think I'd just call you're like a digital printer. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Um, and it's like, from my personal experience, like, I wasn't an art kid growing up. Everything I can do now is because I practice. I practice daily and often. You can see my streams, you can see my posting schedule. I draw all the time. And it's not like I have just built-in time to do it. I have to give up things I'm doing already to pursue something that makes me happy, or at least that makes me feel like I'm like achieving things in life in this way, recreationally anyway. And I couldn't imagine someone saying, "Hey, there will be no more jobs and no one will ever commission you. Therefore, like, well, you shouldn't pursue art anymore." It's like, well, I enjoy expressing myself. Like that's the reason why I do it. Like any type of monetary gain or any type of like, notoriety, that's kind of just like a happenstance. But like I do this because I enjoy doing it. And I think that, I'm not gonna say like life is life is suffering, but I'm like, what's the point of living, or like what's the point of like doing really any skill if it's only under the condition that like you'll be recognized for it, or like that you'll guaranteed to be good at it, or you will never make a mistake and everyone's waiting at your beck and call to be supporting you or like giving you like, yeah, you did it. Not that motivation isn't good, but it's like it can't be the prerequisites for you to even try you know and then especially newer artists, like old and young, it's like there are so many lost there's so much lost potential for people who think that art isn't worth pursuing anymore. Like digital art anyway, specifically. Or even traditional art for that matter. Like we hear all the time from the YouTubers that cover like a lot of like art drama, art scams, blah blah blah. And we get like, yo, like this person's tracing AI, this is a scam, like, and all this stuff. I'm like, well, fraud is illegal, so like I agree that this is a bad thing. But also again, it's like, is that enough for you to stop? Just because it's hard to navigate? Or like, first of all, you don't need to post everything you draw. Like again, I thought we were doing this because we like to do it, or we like to improve. Like there's no, even if you practice for 15 years, there's no guarantee you'll be good enough for people to recognize what you do and want to commission you. Like that's not, like that can't be the only thing going. And if it is the only thing going, like I feel sorry for you, because I don't think life works like that. Like life does not guarantee success for anybody. And even if there's plenty of really, really strong artists just go on ArtStation who they post like unbelievable god tier art all the time that you've never heard of and you never will. Like that's what an artist is. They do it because they want to perfect their craft and it makes them feel whole. It fills a certain void that capitalism can't. It's the human expression. So like in general, like, I don't understand, beyond just the shock value and the fear, why you would stop. Just because of, in this case, generative AI. But even before that, people, were tracing and things like that. And obviously they can trace AI too. Or they were photo bashing or whatever. Or they're using 3D models. And some people say that's cheating. Some people that say that's disingenuous. Or like you reference too much, therefore you do need to credit, which there's a lot of nuance there. You're like, yeah, if you like obviously like copy something 1-for-1 or like 0.8-to-1, like you should probably credit someone. But at the end of the day, I'm like, at least the person's drawing. Again, you shouldn't scam people by saying, yeah, I did this 100% and you didn't. But it's like, but I'm more happy that they're at least attempting to draw, and it's just, at least from my experience so far, like, as I've been sharing my art journey with people, and not that I do it in a like a very content heavy way, but just by virtue of me like sharing my process, just like literally just doing the damn thing, like literally just drawing for hours at a time, like when people see that, they're like, whoa, like without really much accolade, this person's doing it, and it makes me want to do it too. Like just the genuine pursuit of self-expression, like that's enough. Just you are good enough to pursue art. I know the joke is like, I can never draw a stick figure. Well, you first, if you can pick up a pencil, if you can pick up a stylus, hell, if you can fold a piece of paper, you can make art, and you can make amazing art. Everything that you do is the best that it is. Even the little sketch that didn't turn out right, that was amazing. You did something that like 98% of humanity won't do. Not that they can't, but they won't. If you have a creative spirit, pursue it. It doesn't matter who's waiting for you to succeed. It doesn't matter who's waiting for you to make that optimized art style that people like want to click on or double tap or whatever. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters in the art space is you and your pursuit of skill, right? Like I think there's a lot of pressure, especially with newer artists. I'm like, this is a long, long journey, to make art that is seemingly appealing to like most people. Like, and again, that can't be your goal because people's opinions change often. Just look at trends. Like, just go on the like YouTube Shorts, and literally every other month, it's a new trend. And you can trend hop all you want. You can get any brush set that you want. You can get any art program that you want. You can use every 3D model, every photo bash, every 3D render, whatever. And at the end of the day, it's just you and the canvas. If you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to make anything good, or at least anything that's like very notable. The only thing that is going to carry you through this whole thing is yourself, your motivation, and your confidence in what you do. And you only build that by doing it. It's the only way to get good at art is to practice drawing and making art. Not even just drawing, but like whether it be making 3D models or making paper cranes or whatever, you have to do it. It's the whole talent trap is so devious. I hate that. You can see me in like my 8 year journey here, and then be like, "Oh, you're lucky, you're talented." I'm like, what an insult. Do you know how much? You know how much I sacrifice? Like it's. I used to be a gamer. Not that I can't play games now and do well, but like I used to spend like any free time I had, I was playing like League of Legends. I was playing like 8 games a day, wasting 4.5 hours climbing up and down rank. Right? I had to deliberately look at myself and stop and say and tell myself, hey, you know what? Art makes me more fulfilled than this game. I will say that art isn't as fun all the time, but when I finish a 4 hour drawing session compared to when I finish a 4 hour league session, I feel much more accomplished in the art. You know what I mean? So I had to tell myself, I'm like, if I put in half as much time in league that I do in art, I'll be 1.5 times better in the same amount of time. So I just reduced the time I played league. It wasn't easy. It took me like a month to fully like weigh myself off playing video games as much as I did in the time that I had to do what I had to do. And then over time, I realized like, wow, I'm getting much better, much faster. And I just kind of kept doing it. And then after a while, it's like there'll be 2 weeks where I haven't played a game, and I'm perfectly happy and fulfilled. Like I'm challenging myself. Yeah, some days like I want to illustrate something in my head, and it comes out like garbage. But at least I tried. You know what I mean? Like that's more than a lot of people. It's like they don't even try. Like they think that like, oh, I can't make perfect art. Like what's the point? Like that's not the point. If you will never be good enough to make perfect art because it doesn't exist. Perfection does not exist. It's just an excuse. And if you think that like, oh well, I mean, I'm not as good as this person, I'm like, you're acting like a loser. You aren't a loser, but you like that's a loser mentality. Like if you are self-expressing, anytime that you do it is going to be the best version of what it is at that time, right? And if you're like, oh, this is the worst thing ever, I'm like, okay, we'll draw something else. And then either that won't be the worst thing ever, or that new thing will be the worst thing ever. Either way, you got one thing that's good and one thing that's bad. And if you keep doing that, eventually you'll just kind of like win the roulette of like good sketches. Like it's just skill and practice. You know what I mean? Like I it brings me I didn't realize this, so sorry streaming, but like it brings me so much happiness when I look at a chatter who watched my stream before, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I used to draw, but I kind of like dropped after a while. But like, like looking like, I kind of want to get back into it, but I don't know." And I'm like, "Okay, no, like you should try to draw whatever. Just try a little sketch or whatever." I draw on Magma often, so I'm like, "Hey, let's do a Magma sketch like on canvas or whatever." And they start and like, yeah, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's kind of hard. I don't know if I get back into it." And then they keep coming back, and then they keep doing it, and then I can literally see them in real time get better. Like it's and then they enjoy drawing more, not because they're good at it, because it just scratches that itch of like the things worth it in life are hard to do. The reason why certain like if you look at almost any high tier skilled professional artist, all they do is draw. Like of course they got different creative skills to like optimize like their employability, but at the end of the day, anyone who's good at what they do, whether it be an athlete, whether it be a chef, whether it be even a news reporter, it's like they're good at what they do because they do it all the time. And if you're like, well, I'll never get that good, like, yes, you can. If you say you can't be as good at something, it's you denying yourself the possibility. You are killing the future version of yourself that you want to see because you think it's too hard. It is supposed to be hard, but it's not too hard. If you cannot draw for an hour a day, draw for 30 minutes. If you can't do that, draw for 10 minutes. If you can't do that, draw for a minute. If you can't do that, at least buy a pencil. It doesn't matter. Every step is a step forward, and you can be the artist you want to see. You have the capability, and I cannot wait for you to do it. If you don't believe in yourself, I believe in you. I am waiting for you to succeed. I am waiting for you to go embark on your journey, look back in a year from where you started, and realize, wow, I'm not perfect. Hell, I'm not even good, but I'm much better than I was when I started. You know what I mean? Like, I mourn the death of every unrealized artist. If you have an inkling of creative spirit, pursue it. Get in there. Throw your hat in the ring. Be cringe. Be weird. Be horny. Whatever you gotta do. Like, this is a fight for your life. Every day you're dying slowly. Like, you don't get this time back. I don't care how old you are. Whether you are a 12-year-old or you're a 65-year-old, it doesn't matter. Not that you're wasting your time, but it's like, if you have any desire to be a creative, you have to create. And I'm rooting for you. I want to see what you can do. I want to see your creative spirit. I want you to honestly look back and laugh at yourself of all the silly mistakes you made in the art preferences that you like it. You know, it's in the world that is so fast, we've lost sight of certain things that really make us whole. And you need something that's difficult to do in your life that you don't have to do. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Like, there's certain things where it's like, we're not made to have everything catered to us. We're not made to always win. We're not made to always have, every time we post, we get 100,000 clicks or subscribers or likes, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's not what we're meant to do. Like, it's great when it happens, but it's a fleeting victory. How many times have you posted a video or a YouTube short that got like 30,000 views or whatever, and then you post the next one to get 43? Like, that roller coaster and emotional whiplash for external things that isn't necessarily your fault. It's not healthy for you. If all you do is look at professional artists and you just sit there and wonder how they do it, you will never catch up. Because while you're looking at what they're doing, you aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like, you have to slightly disconnect. I'm not saying you need to go full, whatever, but I'm like, you have to give time to your craft. Even if it's 10 minutes a day, even if it's 10 minutes every other day, you have to try, and if you aren't willing to do that, then art isn't for you specifically, or being a creative isn't for you, and that's okay. Just move on. If you're a casual creative, that's fine, but then act like it. Because if you're in the middle where it's like, I want to create something cool, but I just think that, scrolling on my phone is easier and like drawing is hard, therefore I don't want to be frustrated, then you're never going to achieve anything, dude. I'm sorry. Like, it's not going to happen. And being in that place where you want to do something, but you're too scared of starting because of, like, you have to be vulnerable with yourself and you have to embrace the fact that you're not amazing at it already because you just started. It's a terrible place to be. You need to be cringe and draw cringe stuff. If you gotta draw Sonic feet, draw Sonic feet. If it looks like an elephant under a hedgehog dog, then you gotta work on your feet. But that's okay. Every time you push yourself and you try to draw anything, or even try to trace, you will quickly realize what you're missing, and that's good. When I render backgrounds, I realize, wow, I'm really not good at rendering like fauna, like grass, bushes, and trees, and like the sky. Like, I'm not really that good at it. But then it makes me that's good because then I know what I'm not good at. So when I'm drawing, I'm like, man, I'm so tired of drawing the same thing. I feel like I'm not getting better. It's like, oh, you know what I'm not good at? The thing that I don't like drawing. You know what I mean? And then when you're doing that thing and you're really frustrated, you can take a break and go back to what you were doing. Not only are you pushing yourself, you're mentally thinking about what you just learned, and now you're still drawing, and you're drawing something you do like. You can take a break from drawing by drawing something else. It just feeds itself nonstop. And then if you share your art, not that you have to, but from my experience, I didn't share my art for like 4 years. In my opinion, I was garbage. And I think that I was garbage. But after I started sharing my art like 5 years in, I realized I'm like, wow, not even like getting feedback helps. Like I don't necessarily like critique a lot. I like to really just express myself and move on. But seeing other people comment and say like, hey, I like what you're doing, and I think you should keep going. Like seeing stuff like that, and even just posting, it gives you a certain kind of reflection and confidence that you didn't have before. It's very scary. It's very weird and it's very unorthodox, but like when you do it, you invoke a different kind of like mental model of like, okay, like if I were to post again, this is what I would change. Or like if I were to make a YouTube short, this is what I would change. Like it puts you in a different spot. When you draw in isolation, it's really hard to improve because you don't know what you're like. You don't think about it as if someone else is going to look at it. But when you open yourself up to that kind of thing, it greatly changes what you're doing. And again, if that's too much for you, just draw anything. Just do something. I don't like, I want to see what you can do. I want to see what you can be. I want to see your vision over years come to more and more life. You can do this. And I'm so excited to see it. And I don't want to hear more of this loser talk. Like I understand that a lot of you are probably really young. And, I get that as an unk, I have more life experience in terms of like I have more painful events I've been through, so I can kind of rationalize a little bit better than most of y'all. But again, it's like it's so if all you're gonna do is complain about making art, you don't want to make art. Sorry, you think it's cool to make art, but you aren't willing to do it. So just do something else. Like literally, just do anything else. You'll be more happy in life. Like honestly, but you gotta push yourself. Like you gotta get in there. You are wasting your time. If you want to do it, then do it. We can do it together. I don't care. I stream often. Just join a stream. Or if you don't, that's okay. Join a local group or share with your friends or just find one random person online who happens to be in the same niche that you like and just pass back and forth art and just be like, hey, this is kind of cute. Like when you start having fun, you realize how fast you can grow. When you like what you're doing, even when it's hard, that's when you start improving so much faster. If you want to make a comic, just make a comic. It's not gonna look the way you want it to. I can say that right now. But you'll quickly understand what you don't know and what you need to know, or at least how to practice the things you don't know. But whether it's AI, whether it's the art industry, whether it's technology or whatever, I'm like, look, if all you got is excuses, that's all you're gonna get. We can all complain about how hard it is to pursue things that are hard. Obviously, it's hard, and obviously, then no one's gonna applaud you for pursuing your own interests. Like, it's just not gonna happen. You gotta do it because you want it, and that's enough. Just wanting it is enough. Just you being you is enough. You can do it. I want to see you succeed. If you want to make a channel, make a channel. Just post a little art every so often, or whatever you gotta do. You can't give up on yourself. Like, you can do this. Don't be you. It's fail as often as you can, as fast as you can. Failures are the winners. Losers are the losers. Okay, losers lose one time and give up because it's too hard, or I can't do it, or like AI can do it better than me, or this guy's tracing. So what's the point? That does not matter. Only you matter, and only what you're doing matters. And if you have any self-respect, then treat yourself seriously because you want this. Then go get it. It's right there. Everything you want in life is in front of you, but it's further than you think. So you have to start walking, and it's gonna hurt for a while because you haven't done it yet, or you're off and on with it, or whatever. But you gotta keep going, even if it's slow. Even if you take a break. I've taken weeks off art sometimes just to take a break. Or I go on vacation with my wife, and I don't draw. I just enjoy my life, and then like when I come back, I have a new retrospect of like, man, like when I was like out and about, like I just got inspired. I got a break, like a brain reset. Like you don't need to run yourself into the dirt. But again, like art is always on my mind because I like to do it and I want to improve. And I think you do too if you're on this video. So I'm telling you now, even if generative AI art is denounced, even if the art industry is dead, even if there's a mandate you can't post art online anymore, X or something, you gotta keep going. There's always gonna be something. It's always gonna be an excuse for you to fail. You gotta keep going. It's okay to fail. It's not okay to give up. Okay? So I'm just saying, if this is something you want to do, please do it and let someone know you're doing it. And don't expect anything out of it because that's not the point. But holding yourself accountable and seeing what you can do, it's what I cannot exaggerate how good of a feeling it is to succeed, to actually get a commission, to actually get people interested in what you're doing, to actually just find a community that also wants to draw alongside you. I am telling you, this is an amazing feeling, and if you can't do it with me, then do it with anybody else. But I'm telling you, like, if you want to pursue art, any kind of creative space, and you're not, you're missing out. And I feel like I'm witnessing an artist's death. You know what I mean? Like, don't complain about what you are, but fight for what you can be. I'm always gonna be rooting for you. If you have anything you want to share, any uh comment, critique, or hey, am I doing this right? Hey, is this interesting? Hey, like, what's your please, like, interact. Let me know. Let anybody know. Don't just suffer in isolation. Like, you can do this. Like, you can be an amazing artist. You already are. You just haven't realized, you haven't gotten the experience yet. You got this. Don't give up. Please.